Good morning everyone, my name is Nikhil. Now in this video, I am going to explain what is brute force attack and also show you how to implement a brute force attack program in C language. First of all, a brute force attack is going to consist of an attacker trying many passwords or passphrases with the hope of eventually guessing correctly. The attacker systematically checks all possible passwords and passphrases until the correct one is found. Alternatively, the attacker can attempt to guess the key, which is typically created from the password using a key derivation function. This is known as an exhaustive key search. So this brute force attack is a mechanism which is going to take a string as input and it's going to see all the sequences of the string which is going to match with the correct password that we are going to get as an output. So to do that, first of all, in C language we are including the standard library and string library. Then here we are defining a max constant with the 100 value in it. Now coming to the code part, here this is the main part of the code. So the name of this function is brute force. It's going to take 4 parameters. The first parameter is search string, then it's going to take a pattern string, then it is taking string length and pattern length afterwards. Here we are initializing the ijk loop variables. Here in the for loop we are initializing I with the value 0, then we are running this loop till slen minus plen. So why we are taking this slen minus plen over here? Because if we are going to take a string of length 10, then we are going to take a pattern with the length of 4, then we are going to find the string inside that pattern from 0 to string length minus 4. That's the case it's going to have. So 10 minus 4 is going to be 6. So that many times this for loop, first for loop is going to work inside this function, particular brute force attack function. So inside this first for loop we are having another for loop. So this for loop is not going to execute any statements. It is going to just increase the values of k and j. We can see whether this pattern is found or not. If it is found, it is going to be written by this function. Otherwise -1 is going to be written by this function. So what this for loop is going to do? This for loop, first of all we are initializing the j value with 0, then k value with I. So why we are doing this k value equals to I at the start of this for loop? Whenever an iteration is going to be completed for this first for loop, which is there over here, then the second for loop should be starting after the first for loop's iteration. Because if we are going to do the same thing from the start, then the whole pattern will be searched for like the whole string will be searched for like so many times. That's going to take a lot of time. That's why we are not going to do that over here. Then after that one, there is a condition over here. If that is going to be satisfied, only this following loop is going to work. Otherwise it's not going to run at all. It's going to be stopped, and this condition is going to be checked and new iteration is going to start for the upper for loop. So this condition over here is search of k equals to pattern of j. So here we are incrementing j value and k value by 1, and if the search of k which is going to be the character which is going to have in this search string, and that is going to be matching with the pattern string, and if j is less than plen. Here why we are taking this plen means the found pattern length should not be higher than the length of the pattern itself. So we are just checking that one over here in this condition. Then this is how the brute force function is going to work. Next we are going to declare this main function over here. In this main function we are going to have this search str string and also pattern string with the size of max, which is going to be 100, and we are initializing a res vector which is going to store a value which is going to be given by this brute force function. Then here we are printing like enter the search string. I'm going to explain it to you whenever the program runs. Then we are taking the input by using this getAs function, and we are taking the input of this pattern also. Here we are declaring the last byte of the string with the null character, which is going to indicate as an end of the string. Here why we are doing this thing means if we don't do also, some of the compilers will work with it. but some of the GCC compilers are not working without it, so that's why it's better to keep this two statements over here. Afterwards we are going to give this search string and pattern and length of that one using this strlen. By using this string library, we will be getting these functions with which we can get the length of the string. So we are using those functions over here, and here we are giving all these parameters to this brute force function. It's going to calculate and give us the value over here. If the value is going to be -1, then the program is going to print the pattern is not available. Otherwise it's going to give the location where the pattern is going to be found. So this is how the brute force attack is going to work. Now let's run this program by clicking on this run button over here, and now it's asking us to enter a search string. I'm entering hey hello, and pattern is going to be hello, and it's saying search pattern available at location 4, which is true because the string is going to be starting from the location 0 and this hello starting from this location 4, so this output is correct. Now let's run this program again and see how it's going to give the output if we are giving a pattern which is not there in the string. I'm going to OK. So it's saying search pattern is not available. So this is how the program is going to work. Thank you.